It feels amazing, man. And tell you the truth, like it's more surreal than anything else. I feel pretty much a new breath of life coming into all this. Everyone kept on doubting me, talking about, hey, John Dodson's pretty much old news. He doesn't have that same kind of power. He can't crack. He doesn't finish nobody. And I went back down to flyweight to make another run at it. I want to let everybody know that I'm still the king of the flyweight division. Granted, DJ just got done winning his fight, but it just shows that the two strongest competitors at flyweight got significant wins.
I'm going to get back to DJ in a second, actually, but what's the difference? The whole training, everything, the fighting, obviously we know the gloves, but it's a whole other beast getting in there and doing bare knuckle, right?
Well, absolutely, because of the fact that it's just boxing, but within MMA range, and people aren't really like too hip on that just yet. They keep on looking at this as a boxing sport, but since that we can go ahead and call our tie and we can have the wizard and everything else, makes it a little bit more of a different animal. And you have to fight out of those positions to making sure that are protecting yourself at all times, but you're also doing the most important thing, hitting them first and not getting hit at all.
How about the opportunity to fight on the card with your brother, both take care of business? How special was that?
That is a dream come true for me and my brother. Like we've always wanted to share the same spotlight on the same night together, and we got to do it. Not only was I in his corner, but he was in mine, and he got to see the rivalry between both of us. Like I saw him get knocked out at 23-second knockout, and I was gunning for it. And I thought I had Ryan Benoit with that first knockdown, and also the second knockdown. I was like, cool, I beat him in 20 seconds, and then he got back up, and I was like, you just ruined the whole bragging rights between me and my brother right now.
This was a great opportunity, and it was in your backyard in New Mexico. Where do you go from here? Is it to continue bare knuckle? Is it get back in MMA? Where do you want to go from here?
I want to continue the journey in both organizations. Both style fighters, not organizations. BKFC has treated me so well. I love the sport. I love everybody that was there. All the people that were behind the scenes, they sat there and made it such a memorable experience that I know I want to continue my career and growth in bare knuckle. With that being said, though, I also want to finish some unfinished business that I have in mixed martial arts. I know I can be a champion. I want to go out there and secure as many belts as possible. So 125 is going to be the division that I'm going to be running supreme in. It doesn't matter what organizations and what that need me for mixed martial arts, I'm gonna take it over.
John, you mentioned Demetrious Johnson and the two OGs of the division taking care of business same weekend. His name came back up recently with Usman losing, what Demetrious did and that run in the UFC, and then he leaves the UFC, loses a fight, and what he just did to get the title back there. Is Demetrious being overlooked? And when you look at the grand scheme of things, is Demetrious the greatest to ever do this?
To be honest with you, I put him above John Jones, and I know John Jones is my training teammate and training partner, but not even saying it because he beat me. But Demetrious Johnson is the most well-rounded mixed martial artist that the world has seen. Like he is the only one that I've known that's combined it so well between his wrestling, striking, and also in his jiu-jitsu. Like he's been so creative with how he gets submissions, how he wants to go and finish people, and he's just a very intelligent fighter. Now, with that being said, though, I did lay them hands on him, and he did give me a compliment saying that I am one of the hardest hitters that ever hit him before, or the hardest hitter, besides Rotane. But I still think I can knock out Rotane.
Do you think it's just the weight class why people don't put him in the conversation all the time?
And they don't put him in the conversation not just because of the weight class, but they don't put him in the conversation because they just don't see any real appeal to him. There's no like he's not a bad guy. He doesn't do anything that's too vicious, or there's no comeback story. Demetrious Johnson's just been doing what he always does best, and he continues to grind and succeed and be who he is. He hasn't changed who he is, and I always look up to him for how he does things. He sits there, loves his family, plays video games, and stays true to who he is,
You
instead of
meant
trying to make some type of mockery of anything like some other champions out there or former champions.
you mentioned wanting to do both bare knuckle and MMA. Is that a fight you want back? I don't, he mentioned that he would be potentially interested in fighting Cejudo again, but that would probably be hard to happen. It seems like you and Demetrius could potentially happen.
You know, in the near future, if that actually does open up a window for me, I would definitely jump on it because I'm looking at this as a Vanderlei Silva and Quint Rampage Jackson scenario. I mean, Vanderlei crushed Quint Rampage Jackson 2 times in a row, and then on the third time, he had a demolishing finish to go ahead and have his resurgence and let him know that he became a champion in another organization. So from Pride to UFC, I mean, the same thing could be from UFC to one.
What about if Demetrius wanted to come over to bare knuckle and do it now in your new ring?
Woo! If Demetrius wanted to do some bare knuckle, let me know. Well, we can knuckle up any day of the week. I'll sit there and go toe in line with him. I know I ain't backing up, and he already know I hit hard. And well, I ain't gonna say the rest of it, but you know what I'm thinking.